Good morning, my dearest students, and welcome to my conceptual knowledge. So, again, I am in front of you people with a new topic of class 8 mathematics, that is compound interest. So, be ready to grab the conceptual knowledge of the compound interest. I hope that you people will enjoy the video. So, let us start. So, I'm going to start the discussion of this compound interest. See, first of all, we have to understand it basically. Like first we'll try to understand the interest, and then we're going to understand the compound. It means when we join these two words, then compound interest. So what does this mean? So let us try to understand first of all interest. So I'm going to write first of all the definition of interest for you people. Okay, so I had written the definition of interest for you people and try to make you understand it very easily. The interest can be defined as the additional amount payable along with the principal amount, that is the lended amount or the main amount, at a particular rate. Let us suppose one person is there who is going to borrow some amount from the another person. So whatever amount is going to be borrowed, so that is our principal. And let us suppose that the person had borrowed this amount for some particular time, like 3 years, 2 years, whatever it can be. Sorry. So after that time, uh, the person who had taken the amount from the borrower has to return the amount to the another person. So when he is going to return the amount, then he need to pay the original amount as well as some additional amount which is going to be charged as an interest. So I hope so now that you people have understood about the interest. Now we'll discuss more about the interest. Like we are going to classify the interest is of two types: a simple interest and a compound interest. So simple interest, all of you are knowing that whatever percentage we are going to calculate, and simply the percentage is going to be add on for the particular years for what it is going to be charged. Okay, so I had written over here, you can see this, it is of two types. First, simple interest, another one, compound interest. So simple interest, we all know that the formula, simple formula, or you can see the application of percentage, we know we simply calculate the percentage for some particular years, like 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, and so on. Consecutively we can calculate and simply add on, and we can get. But here the compound interest is going to be a bit different. Let us first of all try to focus on the term that is compound. So compound means anything which is made up of two or more than two things. Like we are having the compounds in our chemistry. So compound sorry, we are having the compound, the formation of compound with the combination of the atoms of different elements. So then we are going to have the compound. So here also focus like that only, compound. It means you are going to add the interest for different years, like, and you are not going to get the same interest for different years. You are going to get the different interest for different years. Like for the first year I1, it is going to be different. For second year I2, it is also going to be different in compound interest. For third year I3, it is also going to be different for third year. So and so on, consecutively it will change its value. But in simple interest we always get the interest same. Like for 100, like for 1 year, if total amount is 100 and the 10% interest is charged, so we always get 10 rupees only. But in compound interest this will not happen. Okay, so this is a simple introduction about the compound interest which I had discussed with you people. Now we need to discuss about the compound interest in more detail. Okay, so let us start the discussion of compound interest. But before starting the discussion of the compound interest, obviously we are going to employ, or we are going to use the same simple interest formula, that is I is equals to P into R into T by 100, in calculating or computing the compound interest too. But before going through this compound interest, I would like to just write one basic difference between them. So I'm writing the basic difference and then I'll discuss with you all. Okay, so all of you see here, I have written for you people the basic difference. So the basic difference between SI and CI is that in CI, the amount at the end of each year will become the principal for the next year. And I had not written anything about the SI because in SI, the amount is sorry, there is no difference in the principal will remain same, but in the concept is, but the concept behind CI is that always after each year, or after calculating the interest for each year, for the next year the amount of the previous year is going to be the principal for the next year. So this is the basic concept behind the CI, and we'll apply this only to calculate its formula also. So now let us move and start calculating its formula. So now I'll show you the deduction of the derivation of the formula in each and every stage, but first of all I'm just writing the initial case, so after that we'll continue. Okay, so here I am in front of you. So we are going to calculate the formula for the amount. Okay, if we had taken some amount, borrowed some amount, and is compounded annually, so it means we are going to charge the interest as compound interest, not a simple interest. Okay, now let's see, let us suppose that now we are assuming the situation that a person is there, has taken some amount, that is P, we had denoted with T, sorry, with P, for some years, that is n years, at the rate of interest, that is R% per annum, compounded annually. Okay, I hope so you people had understood the situations. Now let us continue it to understand more. Okay, so I'm just going to calculate it for 2 or 3 consecutive years, and then we can, it means generalize the formula in terms of n years. Okay, so let us start our discussion. So interest for first year, so here our calculation is going to be started. So first we are going to calculate interest for first year. After this I'm not going to write interest for simply first year, second year and third year. Okay, so interest for first year, so I1, let us denote the interest for first year be I1. So I1 is going to be written as the formula we are going to apply. So see, the first principal for the first year, I'm not going to write it as P1. So this is going to be the amount which is going to be borrowed. So let us denote it with P only. Okay, and lastly we'll get the formula in terms of this P only. And the rate of interest, let us denote it with annum, R. And see, this per annum is also very important. I'll discuss with you people. The per annum, it means the rate of interest per annum means after each year only this rate is going to be charged, like 10% is going to be charged on some amount. So for 1 year that 10% is going to be charged. And now if the question will say that compounded half yearly, so that rate is going to be divided in 2 parts, like 5% for 6 months, and then for remaining 6 months 5. And this, since it is compounded, so the same concept is going to be which means put over here. Okay, well, that thing I'll discuss after just getting this formula. Okay, so now let us continue. So P into R into T by 100. Okay, so we'll since we are calculating for the first year, so we'll keep the value of T as 1. So we can simply get the I1 is equals to PR divided by 100. Hope so that all of you will understood it. So this is the form, this is the value of the interest one first year. Okay, now let us calculate the formula for the first year. The first year amount, amount is equals to P plus I1. Okay, so amount is equals to, what is the value of P will remain P only, and the I1 is equals to PR by 100. So let us write it PR by 100, written it. So what we are going to get if we take out the P as common, so we'll get 1 plus R by 100. Leave it like this only, don't do like 100 plus R by 100. Okay, leave it like this only. Okay, now this is the amount one. Now according to the principle, according to the concept of the compound interest, this amount, the first year, is going to be the principal for the second year. So now interest for second year, so we are going to calculate now for second year. So this is the first year we are done. Now second year. Let us do the calculation for second year now. So second year, that is okay. So for the second year, first of all we need the principal, because principal is going to changed. I hope so that all of you will get it. So the principal is going to be changed. So this principal, so I'm just writing the principal for the second year as P2. I hope so that you people don't get confused. The principal for first year, I have not denoted it with P1, had simply written it as P. Okay, because that is only going to show the whole amount which is going to be charged as compound interest. Okay, so P2 is equal to A2. Okay. Okay, so all of you please see this, that P2 is equals to A1. So this is the concept of compound interest. So the amount for the first year is going to be the principal for the second year. So A1 is going to equal to P2. So P2 equals to A1 is equals to P1 plus R by 100. We had written, and now calculating the interest for second year. So I2 is equals to P2 into R into T by 100. All the cases we are going to calculate for each consecutive years. So T is equals to 1 in all the cases. Okay. So don't bother about the T. So P2R divided by 100. Now in place of P2 we'll substitute P1 plus R by 100, and then R by 100 will be left alone. So I hope so that you people have understood this, and now we'll move on. Okay, so now we are going to calculate the amount for the second year. So A2 is equals to P2 plus I2. The same formula we are going to apply. Okay, so see here all of you, that in place of P2 we are going to replace this value with this, since P2 is equals to A1. Okay, sorry for the disturbance. Now let us see here, A2 is equals to P2 plus I2. So P1 plus R by 100, we had substituted it, and now P1 plus R by 100, R by 100. So the values I had just substituted the values. See, P1 plus R by 100. I hope so that all of you are understanding it. So I'm just focusing it so that you people can see it properly. Okay, so now we can see that these two things are common. So we'll take out it as common, P1 plus R by 100, and what is going to be left? So in place of this we are going to write 1 and R by 100. I hope so that all of you are understanding this. This is not a very big thing, like I'm just doing the rocket science and all, so that you people don't understand. It's very easy thing. So now see this, these two are going to multiply it, so we can write P1 plus R by 100 to the whole square. These two are going to be multiplied. Okay, I hope so that no one is having problem. Okay, so up to here we had done. Now next, so this is what, this is the amount for the second year. So this amount is going to be the principal for the third year. So let us do that. Okay, so I had written that is P3, the principal for the third year is going to be equal to the amount for the second year. This is the value. Okay, so A2 for the second year amount. Okay, so we had written it, A2 is equals to P1 plus R by 100 to the whole square. Now let us continue that. Let us continue solving this value to value of I3. So we'll do the same thing. I3 is equals to P3 into R into T divided by 100. I hope so that everybody is understanding this. Okay, now next what you are going to do, we'll simply substitute the values. So what is the value of P3? In place of P3 we'll substitute this P1 plus R by 100. Okay, and P1 plus R by 100 we had done it, whole square, and then what is going to be left? Again R by 100 is going to be left for us. Okay, and T is equals to 1, so no need to bother about T. So we'll again do the same thing. Now we'll calculate the value of A3, and after that we can generalize it in terms of n. Okay, hope so that all of you are understanding. Okay, so let us continue over here, just a minute. Okay, so see we are going to calculate the amount for third year, that is A3 is equals to P3 plus I3, that is P plus I, so simply we are going to use it as P3 plus A3 and I3, sorry. And you can see that everywhere we are just applying the formula for the simple interest. So it means with the help of simple interest only we can find out the compound interest. So you should keep this thing in your mind. Okay, now simply replace the values, it means substitute the values. So what is the value of P3? So first we are going to substitute the values of P3 and then I3. Okay, so you can easily understand this. Now in place of in place of P3 just I had replaced it with the value of P3, that is P1 plus R by 100 whole square, plus, and in place of I3 I had replaced it with this value, that is P1 plus R by 100 whole square into R by 100. Okay, now just you can easily see again the same thing is going to be happened, that these two things are going to be common. So we'll take out the common and just try to get our required results. So let us do it. So P1 plus R by 100 to the whole square. So this is our common. So we had taken out it common. So what is going to be left over here? So 1 is going to be left only. And what is going to be left over here? So that is R by 100 only. I hope you people understand this. You just see what I am taking out it as common. So let us suppose this whole one as x. So if I'll take x and R 100 into x into R by 100. See, if I'll take out x from both the sides, so here 1 will be left and here R by 100 will be left. So please don't get confused in taking out the common. Okay, and now you can multiply it and we can get easily the formula for the amount 3, that is P1 plus R by 100, 2 plus 1, that is 3. I hope that you people are understanding. This is very easy thing to understand. So we had got the formula for the amount 3. Now we can generalize this like for the third year. So it is third amount to third, for the amount for the third year we are calculating. So here the 3 will come. It means according to the time, so whatever years, how many years you are going to calculate, that is going to come in the form of exponents. So from here we can generalize the formula for the compound interest and we can write it. See, I'm writing it. Similarly for n years, okay, we are just going to calculate for n years. So for n years, what is going to be happened, what we are going to get, amount formula is equals to an, see the same format we are going to use, P1 plus R by 100 to the whole power n. So this is going to be the formula for the what? This is going to be the formula for the n years, and we need to be focused over here that it is compounded annually. This is one of the most important thing, compounded annually. So compounded annually, so this n is not going to be changed, neither this rate is going to be changed. But what if we write like compounded half yearly or compounded annually? So in that case, how does the effect, it means how does that things affect this formula and how the things is going to be changed? So right now I'm going to discuss that also with you. Just give me okay, just we are going to discuss that particular things now. Okay, see here, if it is going to be compounded half yearly, so please keep one thing in your mind, all of you, that compounded half yearly, but the rate is going to be charged after each year. It is not like that we are going to charge the rate for the 6 month and then for the another 6 month again the same rate is going to be charged. No, it is not like that. Okay, so try to understand the situations. If the question will say rate per annum, it means like 10% per annum. So it means after each year only you are going to charge that 10%. Okay, but in that case only like rate 10% per annum, but it is compounded half yearly. So if it is compounded half yearly, then how you are going to do it? So if it is compounded half yearly, then what you are going to do, you simply see your time is going to be doubled. Like in 1 year, how many half year is going to occur? 2 half years. But you need to divide this rate also, because you need to charge 10% for 1 year, but you are taking it compounded half yearly, so this rate is going to be half. So this is the key concept behind the compounded half yearly and compounded quarterly. I hope so that you people will understand this. So I'm writing the formula for compounded half yearly in the same terms, that is an, or simply a also you can write. So a is equals to P1 plus R divided by 2. Try to understand, please. Okay, rate is going to be half. Why it is going to be half? Because rate is per annum, so we need to do it half, because we are going to charge it 2 times in a 1 year, and the time is going to be doubled to n. Okay, now if the same thing is going to be asked for you people, if compounded quarterly, then now again if compounded quarterly, as we discussed half yearly, now quarterly means now this time the rate, that interest, that rate is going to be charged. That means for only 1 year, because it is per annum, but here we need to just find it out 4 times the interest we are going to charge 4 times. So the concept, the compound interest concept is not going to change. Like first of all we'll calculate for the first 4 years, and then the amount for that sorry, not 4 years, 4 month, the amount for that 4 month is going to be the the amount for the that 4 years is going to be the principal for the next 4 years. Similarly it will go consecutively. Okay, so like 4, so the time is in 1 year, how many quarters is there? So 4 quarters is there, so we'll simply multiply 4 with n. It means the time is going to be 4 times and the rate is going to be reduced by 4 times. I hope everybody will understand. So the formula for n years we are going to write if it is compounded quarterly. So it is very easy to understand. I hope everybody will understand that thing. R divided by 4. Otherwise you can ask that, sir, why we are just dividing rate by 4. So the reason that why we are dividing the rate by 4, because it is charged per annum. In all the questions you will see that rate is given charged per annum. It will tell you like 10% per annum, 15% per annum, 5% per annum. So per annum means that it is going to be charged after 1 year, so that we are not going to violate that thing. Okay, we'll have to keep in our mind that thing also. So these two are the specific formula for half yearly and quarterly. I hope so that no one is having problem in this, but still if anybody will have any problem, so you can ask me in comment, and I'll try to make some more videos on the questions based, some of the questions discussions also based on these, the application of these formulas, and some application based questions is also there on the compound interest. So I'll try to put the videos of all the other topics also. So well, for today I'm just going to end up over here only. Just let me recapitulate about what things we had discussed. So we had seen first of all what is an interest. Okay, so here is the interest. We had started for compound interest, and then we had seen simple interest, compound interest, 2 types. We are knowing about the simple interest, that's why I have not discussed a lot about the simple interest. The basic difference or the basic idea for the compound interest is this, that its amount for the previous year is going to be the principal for the next year. This is the basic concept. If we understand this particular thing, then we can solve each and every type of problem of compound interest. So I hope that all of you will understand this. And then after that we had done the calculations, lots of calculations you can see, but these are very easy calculations. We had just used the simple interest formula, PRT by 100, and finally we had got a formula for the amount. Now what if it is asking you the formula, it means to find out the compound interest, then in that case what we can do? So as we know, the amount is equals to P plus I, we had used everywhere. So from this formula only we can get the compound interest, that interest is equals to amount minus principal. So we can just get that also. Just I'm writing for you people. So therefore CI is equals to amount minus principal. So we can write it like this. What is the amount? P 1 plus R by 100 to the whole power n minus P. Now if you want, you can take out the P as also common, and it can be written as, or it is no use of doing this thing, but still just write it, minus 1. So this is going to be the formula for your compound interest. I hope so that all of you will understood this and nobody will have any problem. So okay, sorry if it is out of the frame, then I'm extremely sorry, because in writing I haven't seen that, but still it is over here. I'm just repeating it. CI is equals to A minus P. So in place of A we had written P 1 plus R by 100 to the whole power n minus P remain like that only. So we'll take out the P as common, so this is going to be left like that only, and in place of P we'll simply write minus 1. So I hope so now that all the things will be cleared. Similarly you can calculate the CI for this and this also, so I don't think that you people will get any problem. So thank you for everyone. Thank you for watching this video everyone, and I hope so that you people will like the video. Thank you.